Natural gas extracted from the ground contains impurities, water, and other associated liquids. First, it is processed to clean it. It goes through a series of pipes and vessels where gravity helps separate the gas from some of the heavier liquids. Other impurities are then stripped out. The natural gas passes through a water-based solvent that absorbs carbon dioxide and hydrogen sulfide. These would otherwise freeze when the gas is cooled and so cause blockages. Next, any remaining water is removed, as this would also freeze. Finally, remaining lighter natural gas liquids, mainly propane and butane, are extracted to be sold separately or used as a refrigerant later in the cooling process. Traces of mercury are also filtered out. Now the purified natural gas, methane with some ethane, is ready to be liquefied. This happens in heat exchangers. A coolant, chilled by giant refrigerators, absorbs the heat from the natural gas. It cools the gas to minus 162 degrees centigrade, shrinking its volume by 600 times. This turns it into a clear, colorless, non-toxic liquid, liquefied natural gas, or LNG, that is much easier to store and transport. The LNG is kept in insulated tanks until it is ready for loading into a specially designed LNG ship or carrier. When the ship arrives at its destination, the LNG is transferred to a regasification plant where it is heated, returning it to its gaseous state. The gas is then transported via pipelines to customers, providing energy for homes and industry.
Feed gas. Natural gas is gathered at the main production platform, which is located offshore. It is then piped via trunk lines and enters the processing plant onshore. Sulfenol removes main contaminant carbon dioxide together that traces of sulfur compound. Removal is affected by absorption into a solution of sulfenol and continuously regenerated by steam heating. Carbon dioxide is released to atmosphere. A sulfenol solution contains water. Liquefied gas is saturated with moisture that will freeze out the liquefaction section. Dehydration unit. To remove water, moisture is taken down to ppm by flow through beds of molecular sieves. A stream of hot gas regenerates each bed. However, the removal of the water vapor that exists in solution in natural gas requires a more complex treatment. This treatment consists of dehydrating the natural gas, which usually involves one of two processes. First, absorption occurs when the water vapor is taken out by a dehydrating agent. Next, adsorption occurs when the water vapor is condensed and collected on the surface. Mercury removal. Mercury must be removed to prevent corrosion of pipework. It can be achieved by passing the feed gas through sulfur-impregnated cavern. Scrubbing. Liquid phase. The heavy hydrocarbon is removed by partial condensation and fed to fractionation units, like the components like gas phase fed into liquefaction unit. Fractionation. Once natural gas liquids have been removed from natural gas stream, they must broken down into their base component to be useful. That is, makes different natural gas liquid be separated out. This process called fractionation, and it works based on the different boiling points of the different hydrocarbon in the natural gas stream. Pentane, hydrogen and carbon are separated. Butanes and nitre are reinjected into liquefaction unit as makeup. Liquefaction work on the principle of cycle. Main refrigerant boiling at very low temperature extracts most of gas and achieves the liquefaction. The heat from main refrigerant pass on to propane boiling at intermediate temperature. Storage. Liquid natural gas stored at temperature of negative 162 degrees Celsius and atmosphere pressure at the tank farm. Loading. LNG is loaded into LNG ship to export.